Well, hi, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Rusty, and this is where I discuss me favorite horror movies and me favorite music, mostly metal. And I thought that I would drop this little Christmas episode, little short Christmas episode of my top 5 horror film villains, Christmas horror film villains. So, yeah, I had seen it on a couple of other channels where they were talking about their favorite Christmas movie villains, but I wanted to do specifically my favorite horror Christmas movie villains. So we're going to do that and try to make it a little quick one with your time. And yeah, so we're going to start with my honorable mention. I don't know where the other one is. It should be with this, but maybe it's loaned out or something. But honorable mention is Albert J. Dunk as the original Billy and Robert Mann in the 2006 Black Christmas. So I love the original. I also love the 2006 version. Yeah, I don't care what anybody thinks. I think a lot of the complaints were they didn't like seeing a backstory on Billy because you hardly ever saw Billy, if at all, in the original. And they didn't like the increase in gore, and they didn't like the backstory about Billy because it made them feel sorry for him. Well, I can feel sorry for what created a monster. I can feel sorry about that without feeling sorry for the monster that he has become. So I actually loved the backstory of Billy, and I loved the 2006 version of Black Christmas. So that's my honorable mention is Robert Mann in 2006 Black Christmas as Billy. And next up, we have Wes Bentley, who plays Thomas in the 2007 movie P2. Now, Thomas is, like I said, he's my fifth favorite Christmas movie villain. If you haven't seen P2, you really should. P2 is one of the best underrated and unknown horror movies. It's about a woman who gets locked in after a Christmas party, a holiday party at her business, and she's been being stalked by the underground parking lot attendant, whose name is Thomas, played by Wes Bentley. And it is one of the best survival horror movies that I have in my collection. I absolutely love P2, and that's my number 5 villain for Christmas horror villain is Thomas from 2007's P2, played by Wes Bentley. Okay, now I love this movie, and it's Brandon Maggart as Harry Stadling in Christmas Evil from 1980. This is an absolutely fantastic, unique. This is the special edition director's cut, which I'm very, very, very happy to own. And yeah, so we have Harry Stadling in Christmas Evil from 1980. It's very unique Christmas horror movie, and that it's not just a crazy Santa. It's actually a character study of how he goes crazy and the things that happens to him. So yes, we have Brandon Maggart as Harry Stadling in Christmas Evil 1980. Bad Bad Harry. Now, my third movie, yes, I'm looking at my notes. My third movie, a lot of people know him from Home Alone and Home Alone 2, and they're quite shocked when they find out that I've never seen either of those movies. I haven't. Yes, I know. You really should see it. You've got to see Home Alone, Home Alone, and I guess I would because of Joe Pesci, but I've just never gotten around to seeing it. I'm not a big comedy person, especially American comedy. I much prefer British comedy unless you're Jennifer Aniston. I've got every one of her movies, her comedy movies. For some reason, Jennifer Aniston, she just makes me laugh. Cameron Diaz makes me laugh a lot too, and Chevy Chase. So I mean, it's not that I hate comedy; it's just that it's few and far between. But so even though Macaulay Culkin is known for Home Alone, I actually know him as Henry in The Good Son from 1993. He is such an evil little villain. I love him in this movie, and I love this movie. And he is my third favorite Christmas horror movie villain. Now, granted, some people might, it's the old argument like Die Hard or something. Is it a Christmas movie? Well, there's nothing really Christmassy about the movie except it's all in snow and all it takes place over the Christmas break from school, and that's where the movie takes place. So, whatever. I'm not going to argue about it. Macaulay Culkin as Henry in The Good Son is my third favorite Christmas movie villain, and he is an evil little shit. If you haven't seen this movie, you really should. And now we're up to one of my favorite movies of all time. We have Levi Miller, who plays Luke in Better Watch Out from 2016. He is one of the most evil killer kids. I love my killer kids genre, and Better Watch Out ranks right up there at the top, in the top 5 of killer kids. I'll have to do a list one day. I can't really tell you off the top of my head right where I would put it if there's anything better. No, Brightburn. I think Brightburn would probably be my top killer kid movie, but I'll have to sit down and think about it. But anyway, Luke from Better Watch Out, it's one of the most stunningly surprising horror movies. And it's one of my favorite Christmas horror movies, obviously. And yeah, Luke in Better Watch Out is definitely my number 2 of all time favorite Christmas horror villains. And another Billy. My absolute favorite Christmas horror movie villain is, ta-da, Billy from Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984. If I had to be, well, never mind. I like Billy. But I absolutely love this movie. It's also one of my favorite movies of all time. And it definitely probably ranks as my number 1. It is my number 1 favorite Christmas horror movie. And this is the uncut, uncensored DVD, which I guard with my life, a suspicious eye, and a 9mm Luger. Don't dare try to get this off of me. So it's very hard to find, very hard to get. So yeah, Billy is number 1. Silent Night, Deadly Night. The naughty Santa who is going to punish all of you naughty boys and girls out there. I love the story of this movie. Granted, it's like a lot of 80s slashers. It's low budget, but it was made with a lot of love, like a lot of the 80s movies were made. Investors who loved horror, because it certainly wasn't the mainstream that was providing the finances for these movies. It was horror fans. That's who was directing them. That's who was writing them. That's who was begging for investor money in them. And it was horror movie enthusiasts who invested in these movies. And that's the reason why there are so many 80s, 70s, late 70s, 80s, and 90s horror movies that are just so damn good. They may not have the money, but you can see the love coming true in them. And Silent Night, Deadly Night is definitely one of those. I love everything about this movie. Well, except if you're going to show boobs, you need to show butt. So, that's always going to get on my naughty list, is a horror movie that shows female nudity but doesn't show any male nudity. That's where you'll get a half a point knocked off my ranking. It's just not fair. There's half of the population out there who deserves a little giggle just like you do. So yes, we have, going through them once more, to honorable mention, Billy from Black Christmas 2006, the unrated version. We have Thomas from P2 2007. We have Harry from Christmas Evil 1980. We have Henry from The Good Son in 1993. We have Luke from Better Watch Out 2016. And we have Billy again from Silent Night, Deadly Night 1984. So, those are my top 5 plus an honorable mention. Those are my top 5 horror movie villains, Christmas horror movie villains of all time. And yeah, we can move on now. I think my next horror movie review is going to be for the little so bad it's good horror movie called Gutterballs. I paid out the ass to get the director's special collector's edition of the Blu-ray because it really is so bad that it's good. And I'll do a review on that, and there you have it. I wish all of my viewers and anyone interested to have a wonderful holiday season, what's left of it, and have a wonderful new year. And stick with me if you want to check out music. I hope to introduce you to music you may not have heard of and movies that you may not have heard of. If you look through my videos, you will see that I tend to drift towards independent, low budget, underrated, less known horror movies because I want you, they need some love too. So you will see major franchises on here. I think I've done Chucky now, and I did Scream. So I will do the major franchises. I love them. I have them. But I also like to spotlight movies that you may not have heard of and that hasn't had as much love as a lot of the other movies do because they deserve attention too. And I'm a big, big indie horror movie supporter. And yeah, so you will constantly see me pushing. Support indie horror, support indie horror filmmakers, buy the DVDs, buy the Blu-rays if you can find them. And support them because in this day and age, it really is, in my opinion, as a horror and overall general movie cinephile, that most of the good ideas, most of the really great ones are indie, and that's where you find the good stuff, is where you least expect it. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. And like I said, have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Boxing Day, anything, everything, Happy New Year. And I will see you in the next music and or movie video. Thanks for tuning in. Love you, miss you, bye. And always remember, you're a very, very special and unique person, no matter what anybody says to you and no matter what the world is doing to you. You are the only you that there is. And that's important. That's very valuable. And show it off. Be a unique individual because you are the only one of you that exists. And I will see you in the next video. Love you. Miss you. Bye-bye.